Hello, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, folks, welcome to the first session. My name is George Marena, and from today on, I will be in charge of this course, Professional Ethics. Okay, in this session, folks, we're gonna cover the following. But before starting talking about those ones, I would like to some of you read the course descriptor that we got for professional ethics. So my question is, do we have any volunteer? Just for reading this. Bianca Urroz, Judith Palacios. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna read it. It says, Professional Ethics is a course aimed at providing humanistic training to students enrolled in the bachelor's degree in English language with an emphasis on education. It guides future educators toward comprehensive, respectful, ethical, and responsible communicative practice. Through this course, students acquire the necessary tools to act with integrity when facing the diverse challenges that may arise in the exercise of their professional duties. The purpose of this course, folks, is to promote the practice of values in professional communication, including respect for diverse linguistic cultures, transparency in the presentation of information, accountability, and the ethical use of linguistic resources, particularly proper citation in academic tests and research in order to prevent plagiarisms. Additionally, it encourages ethical decision making when addressing various challenges encountered, right? So as you can appreciate here, folks, you can see some of the values because remember that when we talk about ethics, we talk about values, right? So the citation, something important. I don't know if you have been working on some research paper, but remember that when you got the chance to work on that, so we need to work with proper citation, right? In this case, it's just to avoid it, to prevent, as the document says, the plagiarisms, right? So we need to do the intake citations and the documents, right? So the another things that I would like to mention here, something that I'm pretty sure that this is not new for you, is the system evaluation. Okay, so attendance and participation. So let me tell you, folks, that in every session we're gonna start with speaking questions, and those students who participate, I'm going to take note about your names because at the end we got the 5% of participation in attendance. Okay. For the midterm, for the first midterm, we got the 5% of attendance and participation. We got the 15% with quizzes, investigations, written tasks, and oral presentation. Let me tell you, folks, that in every session, you will have a summative and formative task. Okay. So don't forget to do that in the right time, in the correct time, on time, because after that, so you will be losing those points. Okay. And then we got the first midterm written exam, the 20% that is going to be applied on July 5th, 2026. Okay. So in the first term, midterm, we will accumulate the 40%. For the final evaluation, folks, we also have the 5% for participation and attendance, 25% for tasks, investigation, and even some model presentation. And the final written exam, it's about the 30% that's gonna be applied on August the 23rd. Okay, for a total of 60% plus the 40% that you have in
Right.
the midterm, we got the 100%, and the course will be ending up
Yeah,
there. So
yeah,
everything's clear so far, right?
yeah.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good. Thank you very
Yes, I'm
much.
clear.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry,
very
man.
good. Some of the contribution, folks, that we got to the professional profile once you have taken this course The ethical principle for responsible decision making that respect the rights and needs for others. Also, we have the promotion of inclusive and equitable educational environment. We also have a threaten of academic integrity to prevent plagiarism. So, as I mentioned before, the proper citation that we have to do, that, especially in the research paper, okay? Thereby fostering critical thinking and originality. Something important in the originality, folks, I would like to mention this because you know that nowadays technology is part of our academic life, professional life, right? And we cannot omit it. We cannot step aside the technology. So, and the AI, there are many students that they are just copying and pasting the document without modifying anything. Remember that it's not bad to use the AI, but we have to use responsibly, okay? So I mentioned this, folks, because in every task, if I found some document that is copy and paste, you know how would it be your score, right? Also, we have the respect for cultural linguistic diversity, promoting inclusive teaching that acknowledges multiple perspective and context. Okay, those are the contribution that we got to the professional profile according to the course program that we got in professional ethics. So the objective for this session, folks, are to define the concept of ethic and distinguishes it from morality and values using clear examples, highlights the importance of ethical behavior in personal and professional contexts. And the last one identifies ethical issues in simple situations or dilemmas and provide a reflective response. Okay. So let's start with the speaking questions. Something important here before providing your answer, please mention your name. Okay, please mention your name, say your name, because I'm taking note about those students who participate in the speaking question. Something important, remember at the beginning, as I said before, we got the 5% of participation and attendance. Okay, let's see the first one. When you hear the word ethics, what is the first idea that comes to your mind? Do we have any volunteer for answer this question? Remember that here,
Uh,
yeah,
when
yeah, go ahead.
you hear the word ethics, what is the first idea that comes to your mind? Mm, what is the first uh, main idea? I don't know. Maybe do the things right. No,
Mhm.
uh, be stay like a good person. In decisions that compromises the morality. Like this is the I believe that is ethics.
So what do you understand about ethics, all right, when you hear that word? Okay, very good. Very good. Julie Sandoval, go
Yeah, I'm
ahead.
sorry. I can
When
explain from for best way en
No, no,
español. Yo no puedo hablar mucho inglés.
no, it doesn't matter. So, so you provided some keywords, okay, that it enough for ethics, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Julie Sandoval, go ahead.
when I heard that word, the first thing that I think is doing that things right, being honest and respectful with people.
Mhm. Thank you very much. Something important that both have mentioned are the values. Okay, very good. Marlene Larga Espada.
Hi, hi everyone. When the first thing what uh, the idea that comes to my mind when it comes to edit is two things. One is a professional edit, and the other one is professional, like personal as well. So professional to me is your own values. Personal, I'm sorry, and professional is when it comes to work environment, follow the rules, and your workplace, and be respectful as well. That can cover for personal and professional as well. So I think it's more like a value thing that it means in both way, professional and personal.
Thank you very much. You're completely right, right? So yeah, something important that she has mentioned is that professional and the personal ethics is related to the values that we got as a human being, right? And the professional ethics are the norms, the codes, right, that we applied in our organization, and of course, so we need to put into practice the values that we got as a human being, right? Like integrity, honesty, loyalty, etc. Very good, very good. Now let's move on to second question. Do you think ethics is more important in personal life or professional life? Why?
And but
So
and
Yes, Christopher, go ahead.
no, and ambas, no, the both ways.
So you said that both are important, right?
And the professionality is the most important. But if you are not uh, ethical and professional in your life, you could be a good person in the profession.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you are bad person in the real life, how do you do for be a good person in the profession? It's the way that the people create the idea, the this logic in your mind.
Yes, yes. According to the last point of view you mentioned, so means that both are important, right? Julissa Camila, go ahead.
Me too. I think both are important, in personal life or professional life. Why? Because if you are not a good person, I think you can't be a good professional. Because
Yeah,
I think ethic starts from you as a person, not as a
yeah.
professional. So that's my point. I think both are important
Both
because
are
you need to
related, right?
be, yeah. Like,
Okay. Belén Morales.
Okay, the ethics is equally important in both areas because they are interconnected. However, personal ethics form the foundation for professional behavior, and personal life it builds trust with family and friends. It defines your three characters. In personal professional life, it ensures fairness, prevents corruption, and protects reputations.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the third question. Can a person be successful without being ethical? What do you think about this one, folks? Ingrid Mendoza, go ahead. Hello? Someone else that wants to participate by answering this question? Can a person be successful without being ethical?
I think hello everyone. My name is
Okay.
Judith, and I think
Okay.
is a fact that many of people and big people, or we can call them the leaders of this generation, are not ethical at all. Just see
Mhm.
the industries, how damaged we have the world, and they are not ethical in in many ways. So it is possible to be successful without being a good person.
That's not good, right? That's not the idea, right? Julissa Camila, go ahead.
I think yes, a person can be successful without being ethical, but only for a short time because
Yeah.
in the long term, unethical behavior can cause problems like losing through or respect or relationships. So I think it is possible, but only for a short time.
Yeah, the same ethics will be in charge, right, of correcting such error. Good. Ingrid Mendoza, go ahead. Bianca Urroz.
I agree with Julissa. Some people can be so full with our ethics, but also I think that if you don't have ethic, you can be successful. So you need to be ethic because it's like you have a good values are important in life and work.
Hmm. Okay, good. Good. Now let's move on to the next question. Who has influenced your sense of right and wrong the most? In your case, folks, who has influenced? Who has I mean, Bianca, go ahead.
My parents, uh, my parents influenced my sense of right and wrong the most because they always told me like be a good person and uh, um, yeah, and be honestly and respect with the person because sometimes we can that person we can help us too.
Yeah. Okay, good. Belen, would you like to add something else to the same question?
My parents have influenced my sense of right and wrong the most because they taught me core values from a very young age. They taught me basic values like honesty, sharing, and skinny from daily life.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Let's move on to next question, folks. Is it always easy to do the right thing? What do you think? Why or why not?
Not always, because as
Why?
persons
It
we want
depends.
to have benefits, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people think about what am I going to get from that without
Mm.
thinking if it is ethical or not. So sometimes I think we need to be honest, and sometimes it's not easy to do the right thing.
Sometimes would be hard,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it's like sell my body, If I
Uh-huh.
if I need the money, but my my personality,
You have to
my
work hard.
dignidad, yeah, and I sell my the most important of my physics, and I am sell from and so what do you offer is the way to receive money if it case in this case no, but it's not the best way for uh, keep keep uh, keep going to the future, but it's the only way that the person thinks that we can going on, but it's not ethical. It's something like this or not.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I completely agree with you folks because sometimes it is, sometimes not, right? Depends on the situation as well, right? Let's move on to next question. Do you think ethical behavior is the same in all cultures?
No, no. It depends. It depends of
Depends on what?
nationality.
Okay, good.
Uh, it depends because cultures. For example, in the older times that when when was born my grandfather and grandmother, uh, they both has some education that is different in the present. Like, mm, for example, um, the patriarchal like this is
Mhm.
the more of ethical things that evaluated. For example, the cultures in the I don't know in other countries like Reino Unido or Germany or Russia
Culture,
like this.
teacher.
Yeah.
Can I answer?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, I think some ethical values are universal, like honesty and respect.
Yeah.
But different cultures may have different
Yes,
idea about
culture.
what is acceptable behavior and what is considered polite or ethical in one culture may be different in another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that depends on the culture, right? Because we got some ethical here that probably could be right, but to another country is not, right? Okay, good. Let's move on to next question. Should professional be ethical even outside their workplace?
Hmm, this is a good question.
Christopher, can you let
Mhm.
can
Yes,
someone else
right now,
help and
please.
answer this question? It will be very helpful as well to listen the rest of the team. Thank
All
you.
right. Sorry.
Yes, Belen, go ahead.
All right. Yes, the professional must be ethical outside their workplace because their personal actions directly affect their professional reputation. A professional present their industry or company at all times, not just during work hours.
Okay, okay, thank you. Judith Palacio, do you have something else to be added?
I just want to add that being ethical in the workplace, it doesn't mean that you don't have to be good person outside your go workplace. So it's in the ethical profession, being ethical in your work. It doesn't mean that you. It's the same that you are being good person outside the work. So I think is not separate things.
Yes, we have to be a good person, right? All the time, no matter the place where we are, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's see. Well, wait for. Let's see this question. Is it acceptable to break ethical rules if no one is harmed? Judith Palacios, you raised your hand, right?
No, but what would it be those ethical rules? Can you give us an example, please?
Remember, for example, if we talk about medical situations, you know that we got some codes that we need to respect. For example, the confidentiality that we need to maintain, so we cannot provide the information of the patients, right? So that would be unethical rules.
Yes, I got it. So, no, I think the rules are rules for a reason. So that they can be followed by people no matter what. If I think I will do it a good action, that's not my what I think. It's that rule, and I need to follow the ethical rule. And
Okay,
it's my
good. Yeah, okay, good. Julissa?
I totally agree with Judith. If you break rules, you are not being ethical because she said rules are rules for a
Yeah.
reason. So no matter what, we have to follow them because if they are there, it's for something. If you break rules, obviously you are not being ethical.
Yeah. Folks, just to make a pause, recuerden chicos lo que mencioné al comienzo, participation. Veo que solo están participando los mismos, 3, 4 y el resto, y tenemos 16 estudiantes conectados, ¿verdad?
Teacher,
Entonces,
can I answer the last question?
ok, good.
Uh, in my case, I think it's acceptable, even if no one gets hurt right now. Breaking the rules can destroy trust. If people find out, they will stop trusting you.
Okay, good.
Teacher, I got
What
a
ab- what about what about this question, folks? This one, the number 9. If a teacher or professional lies help to someone, is it ethical? What do you think?
Mm, no, it
it's
is.
not ethical,
It's
but
not ethical.
it's a it
Yes,
may.
for me it's that ethical because teacher your work is help you
No.
classmate, and you do to your work if you help you. For me it's ethical. What do you think?
I think it is not. I work with kids and I'm a
Yes,
teacher
I
and
agree.
Yeah.
I did it when I was starting and I thought I will help him. I will give him the opportunity to improve and he didn't improve. In that moment, I realized that I was not being ethical because my heart was part of my professional
Yeah.
my like me as a teacher. So I said I won't never do this again because the kid didn't improve, the kid didn't learn. So if you lie to help something, I mean being a teacher, right? I say that because I work with kids and it is not ethical for me.
Folks, we're gonna stop the question here because we got a lot of things to be discussed, okay? And remember the time that we don't have enough, okay? So let's move on to this one. As you mentioned, folks, ethics, as you were mentioning in some of the questions, that ethic is related to integrity, values, choices, moral principles, honesty, right, fairness, all of the values that you were mentioning. That is ethics, okay? So let's see here, folks. Some of the core principles that we got for ethics, folks, are the first one is human beings. Remember that in the human being, folks, we got some foundations of human beings like the values and sub values, right? So we can say that some of this one could be love, hate, okay, etc. We also have moral values and ethics. So my question is, do you think that when we talk or when we refer to morals, values, and ethics, we're talking about the same thing? Let's see this one. So, what is good and what is evil for you? Do you understand the terms? What is good for you? What is evil for you? So let me tell you,
Like
folks, that
evil,
yeah,
evil,
yeah,
evil. Oh, okay.
yeah.
What
What
is
is
good
good and
and
what is
bad?
evil?
Like,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, that's related to that, right? The same word says that, right? Okay. So let me tell you, folks, that according to Webster New World Dictionary, so this dictionary mentioned that good it's referring to having the proper qualities and beneficial, right? And according to the same New World Dictionary in 2020, folks, says for evil are morally bad or wrong. I mean, wicked and harmful. Okay, so it the same. I started mentioning this one because I like to mention the in-text citation, the Western New World Dictionary. But this is related, folks. What is good? What is evil? It's the same thing that when we say what is good, what is right, and what is wrong. That I think that are the most common words, familiar words for you, right? So we also have some of the characteristics, folks, of the moral values. Do you have some idea about what characteristic we can find there? Do we have that if we talk about self-justifying, the preeminence, the obligation that we got that's related to moral values there? Let me tell you yes, okay? Let me tell you yes. Also, we can say, folks, that moral value can exist only in free personal's being and in that person's voluntary on human acts, right? As you mentioned before. So we can be ethic. We had a question that if we can be ethic outside the workplace. Yeah, remember that we are human being. If you are a good person, so we have to be good all the time, no matter the places, no matter if you are at work, no matter if you are in the park, if you are in the hospital, even if you are at home. So we have to be good persons, right? So let's see this one, morality versus ethics. So let me tell you, folks, that morality is more concerned with the results of wrong action when done, and ethics is more concerned with the results of a right action when not done, right? Another characteristic that we can find in differences between these two terms is that trust is on judgment and punishment in the name of God of bylaws. That would be morality, right? And trust is on influence, education, training through codes, guidelines, and corruption that is related to ethics, right? To ethics. When we say codes, folks, remember that as I mentioned before, we got some rules, right? For example, at work, it says that the work starts at 7 p.m. So we need to respect that rule, right? So we need to be there before 7, right? If you go after 7, what happened? You can be fired or you can be applied a memorandum, right? Because you're not fulfilling the codes of ethics of that company, right? Another core principles, folks, that I would like to talk to you, it's the professional ethics, okay? So, as you mentioned before, folks, that professional ethics, it's more like the conduct, right? That we got, like the norms, that the guidelines that we have to respect, right? And in the types of professional ethics, we got personal ethics. So being a good person, having good values like loyalty, honesty, responsibly. In the medical, in the medical professional ethics, as the example mentioned before, the confidentiality, right? So we need to respect that. If we got some important information about a patient, we need to respect that. Business ethics, professional legal ethics, and so on. All of the area got its own professional ethics, right? Its own professional norms, its own professional guidelines, conducts that we need to respect, right? We also have moral dilemmas. What do you understand by moral dilemmas, folks?
Like it's not a line defined by everyone. Like is the line is kind of vanished? No.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
yeah, right.
Do you get? Yes, something.
Okay, good. Someone else? What happened if I tell you folks that moral dilemmas are the conflict that we can find between two things, two aspects? Do you agree with that?
I can explain, but in Spanish.
For being the first class, sorry, but Spanish is not allowed, okay? Please don't take it so bad. So we can say, folks, that moral dilemmas are situations in which two or more moral obligations or duties or even rights, good or ideals come into conflict with others, okay? Which others. And but some of the cause and factors that we can find here is the problem of vagueness, problem of conflicting reasons, and problem of disagreements, okay? Disagreement is something very common, right? When we got some dilemmas about this one. And the other one, folks, is the ethics. So as you mentioned before, ethics are the norms, the values that we can that every human being has, right? So and ethics in relation to other studies, remember that ethics can be conducted or can be adapted according to different area, right? So, some of you were mentioning that you are English teacher, right? So, do you think that in the teaching area we got the ethics? Of course, right? Of course. So, as I mentioned before, all of the area, all of the professional area